please leave a bad review. McLean Hospital fake claiming DID systems. Acora Hospital would be allowed to post something so misinformed and offensive. Guys, what has been getting people so upset recently? What has this hospital done? Where people are leaving 1-star reviews and making TikTok videos telling people to review bomb a hospital. You know, the place you go to save lives. God, what they've done must be absolutely awful.
Do these social media content creators actually have DID?
No. Quickly before we get in today's video, finally made a Discord, link in the description if you want to join. So I was made aware of a pretty serious situation the other day on the Fake Disorder Cringe subreddit. I actually saw a hospital that has actually come out and live streamed and talked about the negative effects of basically faking DID for clout on the internet. Talking about the negative effects and how it's really affecting hospitals and undermining the overall diagnosis of DID itself. Now, guys, how do you think the fake disorder community responded to this? Now, keep in mind, these are real professional doctors, I think, that studied at Harvard, so pretty prestige doctors against some 14-year-old with blue hair. Do you think maybe for just once they sat there and said, okay, I think I kind of have to take an L here and listen to the actual experts? No, guys, of course not. They literally doubled down to the point where the hospital had to turn off the comments in the comments section, which honestly I'm kind of disappointed about because I wanted to read some of those comments. Absolutely insane. They called the hospital just ableist and how could they say this kind of stuff? I definitely have DID, which is just absolutely insane. That this is like, what kind of weird world are we living in right now where an actual doctor isn't enough proof on these kids faking? Literally have the audacity to sit there and be like, nah, bro, these doctors are wrong. But I'm right, bro. I read a Reddit post and I 100% have it. I thought it was really interesting and it really brings to light a lot of issues of what's been happening recently. So I really wanted to watch it with you guys and really skim through the best parts. So let's do that right now.
I want to start by saying that I have a number of my own patients who I treat for DID and have always understood their symptoms and reported experiences to be genuine and rooted in early life experiences of trauma. The people I work with are reluctant, conflicted, confused, ashamed of what they experience and report. They look and act nothing like the sensationalized media representations created for entertainment purposes.
Well, straight off the back, that doesn't sound right, does it, guys? Not from the videos we've been watching anyway. They literally parade their diagnosis, and there's some clips here that you're going to see later on in the video where this one girl literally gets a happy DID cake. It's just insane. So yeah, straight off the back, absolutely not. That's not what happens on these TikToks. They're very bright, bubbly, happy people that are more than happy to share their diagnosis, but the doctor goes into more depth about why they probably are faking. Now, I want to point out that he does acknowledge the fact that he can't 100% say that they are faking because, again, he's really just going off of the TikTok videos that they've provided, right? He isn't actually sitting down with them and actually talking to them. So yeah, he acknowledges that. But just from the TikTok videos alone, guys, it's a pretty big indicator that they're probably lying.
With drastic changes in appearance and dress. Many people we treat for DID report feeling distraught and confused when they see social media and online content created by people identifying with the diagnosis. They can't imagine why anyone would promote their symptoms openly. The daily struggles and symptoms they desperately try to keep under wraps are being displayed in social media content, often in fun, playful, and engaging ways. This does not make sense to them, and it further confuses their already confused and conflicted sense of self and deepens their sense of shame.
Okay, listen, I don't have DID and it confuses the hell out of me as well. It's got to be so frustrating going through this. And I know we watched like one TikTok the other day where I was basically saying you don't even need trauma to have DID. Clearly not the case. And that's how misinformation gets spread. One person says it, the rest believe. Next thing you know, you have this warped reality of what the actual diagnosis it is itself. But being like scared, confused, and then watching these TikToks must be so frustrating for someone that actually goes through this and confusing as well, as if it's not already confusing enough. Having that trauma and gone through that, it's probably second guessing yourself all the time and feeling unsure about everything and being compared to some of these TikTok kids. Oh my God, bro, that just has to be the icing on top, I'm sure.
In the following video, we see a partner guessing which part or alter is fronting, and I'll say more about those terms in a bit. But I want to start by showing you an example of how online presentations contrast with what we know about our own DID patients.
Who's fronting?
Jay.
Yeah. Hey, who's fronting?
Look.
Hey, babe.
Yeah.
Who's fronting?
Jenna.
Hey, who's fronting?
Caleb.
For our patients, switching is often an intrusive symptom related to flashbacks or trauma-related memories and are quite distressing. In this example, we don't see confusion or conflict about the switching. Instead, it's almost treated as if it's a game with her partner.
Ableist. Guys, I don't understand how this doctor can really sit here and say this. Unbelievable. So stupid. By the way, that is what some of the comments were basically saying. But, it gets far worse.
They are self-diagnosing as having DID, but many do not report a trauma history. And they often have elaborate descriptions of parts or alters that are almost character-like. They freely discuss these parts, displaying different manner of dress and appearance. And so in this following video, I want to show you an example of someone displaying changes in dress and appearance in a character-like fashion. These overt changes in appearance and dress are not characteristic of the patients we treat and see every day.
Now, I gotta say, watching a doctor react to these TikToks, it's kind of something I never thought I would be experiencing, you know? Hey, and I get it. We've watched loads of these TikToks ourselves, and I understand the pain this doctor is probably going through. My guy literally doing a public live stream reaction right now. Thanks, Alex. Thanks for the sub. No, but in all serious, no man, especially a doctor from Harvard, should have to go through this. I really feel for the guy.
So how do we make sense of people showcasing overt changes in their hairstyle, tone of voice, appearance, dress, and role, when we know from years of clinical and research work that nearly all patients with DID are reluctant to discuss their symptoms and tend to feel ashamed and conceal what is happening for them?
Nah, I think they're just mainly confused. Honestly, it's like these kids are literally just doing cosplay and they managed to confuse that with DID. Like somehow, I don't really understand how, but that's, I feel like, what they're doing. To the point where, guys, look, we even made our own sticker. They're still available, not a cosplay. If you want to support the Blaze channel, see anyone fronting out in public who changes uniform, slap one of this on their stupid forehead, guys. We need to contain the outbreak as soon as possible.
And their survival depends on dissociation. The child's survival also depends on keeping this process hidden and out of sight.
Again, nothing like how the TikTok kids are doing it. Like legit, the complete opposite. Some people have made actual accounts completely dedicated to having DID and talking about it like on a day-to-day basis, like every single day. Some of them will upload like 5 videos a day and talk about their experience. They've gone through no trauma, like none. I don't know, maybe their parents took away their fucking PS5 when they were younger. Like bro, like legit, no trauma. Judging by the live stream and what we've watched so far, I'm assuming that the people that he's probably having into his doctor's office are probably people that are army veterans, people that have probably seen their friends blown up, died in front of them, completely neglected as a child. Not like these kids that have nice bedrooms, stickers on the wall. It seems like they can really do anything. They seem like they live in a good, nice house. You know, like nothing like that whatsoever.
And so, as was once famously noted, DID is really a disorder of hiddenness. And that's true into adulthood. Which is why it's surprising to see people online coming out or celebrating receiving the diagnosis, as is the case in this video.
I just got diagnosed with dissociative identity disorder a few days ago, and I don't know how to tell people about it or come out about that. So I've decided to attempt to JoJo Siwa it. You know how she came out as gay by posting a picture in that shirt that said "best gay cousin ever"? Okay, so I'm at the superstore and I'm gonna get a cake. I'm gonna get a cake that also, this is inspired by Kai Robinson on Twitter, who had the congrats on the autism cake. I'm gonna get a happy DID diagnosis cake. Let's go.
writing on this cake?
Look at it go. I just did a little photo shoot. Oh my God, wish me luck.
That is actually just unbelievable. I know we've seen that video in the past, and I know there was a few comments actually with the argument saying, well, Blaze, you know, sometimes it's happy to finally get a diagnosis. They should be allowed. Guys, come on. She had that cake ready at home. Happy DID? Really? That's not really something you should be happy about. Absolutely. If you have some weird sort of diagnosis that you've been trying to get for ages, absolutely you can be happy about that. Must feel really nice to finally get an answer, but not really to the point where you get a cake that says happy DID. What? Oh yeah, Bethany, happy cancer diagnosis. I'm really happy and pleased for you. I feel like it's just a massive, strong indication that they're lying. Like, I don't see how you can see that in any other light. Celebrating it that much to the point where you actually buy a cake and celebrate it is absolutely crazy to me. And I'm sure it's crazy to these doctors as well. DID is really normally hidden. People are embarrassed to have that. They don't want to come out as that, I'm sure, because they don't want to be labeled as crazy, yet you have these TikTok kids more than happy to take that title. What do you mean? Oh, I've just done my photo shoot, guys. Wish me. Why? If you really had DID and you just got diagnosed with that, surely you'd be sitting at home reflecting on that, trying to understand it, not making a photo shoot for Instagram with your happy DID cake. What?
So as you can see, not much fear or conflict about receiving the diagnosis, and almost a celebration of being labeled as such.
A massive celebration, in fact. Mom, whip out the champagne. I'm happy DID. Look, those are the type of kids that will probably put that in their calendar and celebrate it once a year. It's just so stupid.
With the advent of the commercial internet in the 90s, evidence and information about DID has become widely and easily available, and it's created safe spaces and online communities for people who are trauma survivors, mental health consumers, clinicians, and researchers. And with vast amount of information, many of the misrepresentations and false claims about DID can be countered with true or good information.
I feel like that's really a double-edged sword. It's nice to have that information there for people that actually have it. But for the other kids that are pretending to have this, they can read some of those diagnoses and absolutely almost kid themselves now into thinking that they actually have it, right? Because if you have one or two of those symptoms, you're just going to automatically think that you have that. And that's why I feel like a lot of them are just doubling down now. So if you try to argue the point that you probably don't have DID, they get super mad, they get angry, they call you an ableist. But it's just like a real shame that people are using this and manipulated it to a certain point to just use as ammunition for when people fake claim them. Just one Google search and they can come back with the appropriate answer.
And there's a significant amount of self-commodification where a person can actually generate income by gathering more followers in social cachet. One of the most popular TikTok accounts, the A System, which I'll show you in a second, has developed a wide following with millions of views of their online content.
In the life of somebody with dissociative identity disorder.
So it's possible that some social media influencers like the A System may be malingering or have factitious disorders. Malingering is the intentional reporting of symptoms for some external gain, such as money or reduced legal consequences. And factitious presentations are when the symptoms of an illness are present or falsely reported, but not just for external gain. Usually it's for being in the sick role in some way.
Which is super interesting, and I feel like a lot of these kids definitely get a sort of gain from doing this, whether that be, like you just said, financial. Also attention, people love that. Why not just play the sympathy card on TikTok? Probably the easiest way to grow your account. Easiest way to get likes and views, you know, just play victim. People feel sorry for you. Just prey on the good intentions on other people. And he actually furthers his point where, now, I didn't even know this, but apparently this TikTok user, that the one we just watched, has his own store. Has his own store. Merchandise, in fact. Take a look.
Merchandise for the merchandise website for the A System. And they also have a Cameo account.
A Cameo account. And it's so stupid, bro. I can probably imagine how that Cameo account goes. I'm sure that you can pick probably which system you want to have wish you a happy birthday. I want Trevor. Well, I want David to wish me a happy birthday. He just... Okay, I'm now David. Happy birthday. But to have a merchandise store on top of that, what? You're going to sell DID t-shirts and hoodies? No, guys, quickly now, buy your DID underwear before it's all gone. People in the comments, even in this video, that are trying to defend this, really, dude? Come on, man. You guys are better than this, surely. This is just absolutely in plain sight. These people are just straight up playing you at this point.
So again, just to reiterate, these are not characteristics of people with DID that we see in the patients that we treat.
Yeah, I can imagine, bro. Some fucking person walking in with colorful socks. We like to party. Just, bro, just blasting music from their boombox. I feel so bad for this doctor having to watch this. Poor man.
While some individuals are likely aware that they are exaggerating or fabricating some or all of the symptoms of DID, some online users may also present with self-reported dissociative symptoms and actually believe that they have genuine DID.
And again, to the point I made earlier, because that goes with that perfectly, I do believe that some people probably believe so much that they have DID now that you won't be able to tell them otherwise because they have one or two of the symptoms. But I feel like deep down, they probably know that they don't, but they'll probably just default to the argument that I'm not privileged enough to go and get an actual diagnosis. Which if you're saying that, like, kind of gives it away, but sure. It's almost like a comfort blanket, I feel like also, hey, for some people. Why go and work and do all this stuff when I have a perfect alibi right now of having something like DID? But really, if you've really not gone through any trauma or had any bad experience in life, how can you even say that? You know what I mean? It's like, this is such an extreme mental health diagnosis that real percentage of people actually having DID has to be extremely low. Like I said, I didn't even know about this until TikTok came along, but all the TikToks we've been watching clearly do not reflect in any way on how actual DID works. Changing costumes, dancing, having it be all happy and fun. From what this doctor's saying, it sounds like actual DID sounds nothing like that. And even if you have DID, doesn't make you an expert either. Unfortunately, that's just kind of the same way that I have head tics. I would never call myself now an expert in Tourette's. Like, you just can't. Learning about it and having it is just completely two different things.
And Boone and Drazier use the term imitated DID to describe these individuals. Individuals with imitated DID may benefit from psychological and social gain in some way, and therefore social media platforms are ideal places for imitated DID to thrive.
Hey, I want to talk to you, leave me notes, tell me about yourself, what's your name, anything like that.
So almost a how-to guide to being plural. And people with DID, they don't choose this. They don't wish for this. The symptoms they experience develop out of need for survival. That accurate online information and professional education are more important than ever. It's one of the reasons we've been doing these talks, just to make people aware. We're deeply concerned about social media representations and self-diagnosis and the way it likely delegitimizes DID for those who actually have the diagnosis and work with people. We don't want these representations to undermine the significant research and clinical progress that's been made in the recent years.
Honestly, is what a lot of kids have been saying on this, to the point where they had to, like I said, turn off the comments. I thought this was super interesting. I tried to cut it down for the most interesting parts for you guys. And even if you don't agree with him, which it's not really something that you kind of agree with, it's just kind of fact, but yeah, sure, whatever. It's super interesting to sit here and listen to what they're having to say. I mean, it sounds like such a pandemic now, to the point where they're having to do this, make live streams and actually try and talk about the negative effects of promoting DID and all these mental illnesses on TikTok. And I'm sure the majority of the people that left nasty comments on this video, I can 100% guarantee they did not watch the full extent of this. They're not open-minded. They don't want to think about anything else. They've already got all their information from all the Gen Zs on TikTok. Why would they want to listen to someone from Harvard? Yeah, dude, I wonder why. Let me know what you guys' thoughts and opinions are on this super interesting video, I thought. Hope you guys had a fantastic weekend, though, nonetheless. I'll see you all in tomorrow's video. Bye-bye.